Judy from Witchpeace Craft. Welcome. Well, today's video is going to be about my year of 2024 in review, my yarn adventures for 2024 and how I felt about everything and where my yarn adventures are heading in 2025. So let's get started. First of all, I hope you had a Merry Christmas. Christmas Day for us was lovely, except at 6 o'clock we lost power for a good hour, but fortunately we had planned a menu that didn't require power, even though we had the generator ready to go. The power was turned off to our suburb for public safety reasons, but they were pretty quick getting it fixed, and ours not bad because it sounds like it was a major issue. Anyway, we had a great Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, talk to the sun in London. Thank you to those subscribers, podcasters that sent me little gifts. Litzer at Crochet, thank you so much for your gift that came through on email. And to Karen Wright, thank you for the gift from my Ravelry wish list. It was lovely to receive. Such a surprise, so nice. Anyway, I have a few notes because it's going to take a while, so make sure you grab a drink, sit down. We'll talk about my year of 2024 in review. And yes, I'll need glasses. So, let's turn to the right page. In 2024, towards the end here, I've been winding up some whips that have been laying around. And I thought I'd share my finished objects with you. Now, this one is a creation of mine. When I was frantically doing amigurumis, talking to Reebs one night about old children's shows, I decided I would make this amigurumi, and all I had to do was finish his face. And it is from a show. We were talking about how some children's shows were removed, like Humphrey B. Bear was removed from the TV because he wore a waistcoat and no pants. So some of the reasons why shows were removed. And this is a character off that show, but it's my interpretation of the character. It's similar but not the same. So here he is, my amigurumi worm. Ta-da! He is a worm. Basic pattern for a worm that I just did, and then I created his character through his face. And all I had to do was finish his face, and I forgot he was laying around. So that is my worm amigurumi, Wally the worm I call him, with his tooth sticking out, which looks a bit funny. But yes, I did enjoy making it. I did do pattern notes, but I doubt very much I'll write up a pattern. It's so easy. And the actual feature is how you do his face. So that's my first whip wind up for 2024. The other one I wanted to whip wind is a blanket, because I have one more blanket to go after this. It's on the go. And I finished my Larks foot blanket in pinks. This is Marvel 8 ply. All the pinks and purples I used. And it is the Larks foot stitch blanket. I put on it, and I tried this for the first time, and I really like it, this waves border. There is a tutorial for that, and I will put it in the link in the description below. But I think it turned out really well. The border made it the right size for me to donate to charity. So that's ready to donate in January. It's all finished, it's washed, it's blocked. All it needs to do is now be donated. So they were two of the whips I wound up for 2024. The other thing is I went through my whips deciding whether I would finish them or they're just going to lie around and not get finished. One of the things I had almost finished was I was given a pattern by Janice, hi Janice, called the Striped Summer Top. It was on my wish list. I still want to make it. And I started making it. The problem was I lost a couple of kilos between starting it and finishing it, almost finishing it. And when I tried it on, both my boys, Thing and Reeb, said it's too big, it's too boxy and short, it needs to be longer. You could only wear it as a summer, a swimsuit cover-up. I did try several ways to make it longer, but the more I tried, the more I disliked it. So that went to frog it. I am going to make that pattern again, but this time I'm going to be more accurate about my size and probably I used Bendigo 8-ply cotton, I think, and I need to use a different cotton, a much more softer drapier cotton. So that got in the frog pile. That hasn't been frogged yet. That's usually Thing's job to frog for me, and that's one on the list. The one that did get frogged is I did go to Amsterdam to Stephen and Penelope. I bought the yarn for the 2023 cowl, all excited. It came out, and the first one pattern section caused controversy over what people thought they could see or how they interpreted the way the pattern was. And he changed it, and he did a pattern 2 update, which I did start and finish section 1. But because of all the stuff online and what have you, I put it aside thinking I'd finish it later. And I got it out to finish. I went, no, I can't do this. It just sits in my head about what they talked about. And it is expensive yarn. So that got frogged because I'm going to use that yarn in another project that I'll talk about in the future. So winding up my whips, that's what I wound up. And I was left with, have you noticed, my new backup, my setup? I'll explain about that too. So let's have a look at my notes. Winding up whips, I've showed you my finished objects. So I like to participate in cowls, probably too many, during 2024, same as 2023. I do like the Bod Hatterpalooza, but I'm not sure I'll participate as much in 2025. I really like Hooker versus Hooker, and I will be doing that again in 2025 if they go ahead with it. I've even subscribed to, I've forgotten what it calls, but it's a platform where you can go live, because I would like to join them when I get the courage to in their live for Hooker versus Hooker. I did the Yarn Addict Spring Throw, which is behind me here. I really loved it and I enjoyed that. Mood boards with Gary at Urban Yarn. I really like doing them because they make me think more about the yarn, the project, the theme, everything. It's not just, oh, I'll make that, that'll fit in. I really take my time, and I will explain why the winter mood board is ahead of me. And Coco's crochet cowl for 2024, where she made lots of little gift items you could get ready to have as emergency gifts or for Christmas, and that really helped me, especially with market prep. I had lots of little Christmas gifts on my market which sold that I had made with Coco's crochet. So that was one I jumped into late but really enjoyed. So out of all the cowls that I would continue on with if they go into next year, and I know one of them definitely will, the mood board cowl from Gary. He's just brought out his winter make along for the mood board, and I'm planning that. And Hooker versus Hooker, because the ladies make me laugh. I like making the things, although the one I made in November, I sent a photo but I've shown no one. It was a real bomb. I just couldn't get it. It was a 7 or 8 year old tutorial I followed, and maybe all the techniques from the past were confusing me. So current cowls I'm doing that have started now for 2024 is our collaboration with my fellow Australian content creators, which was Litza at Coco's Crochet, her idea. And I got the hashtag wrong. It is actually hashtag Made in Australia to Cowl 2025. There is a video. I'll put a link to it up here somewhere. You can check it out. Come and see what I'm making for that. So for that one, I'll show you now. It's behind me here. Just to give... I am making a long blue scarf. This is a children's book by an Australian author. So make sure you check out the video as to why I'm using this. That is for Made in Australia cowl, which started on December the 26th and will finish on January the 26th, Australia Day. The other one I have started is on December the 19th, Gary from Urban Yarn released his mood board winter make-along cowl, whatever you want to call it, for 2025 or 2024. Anyway, I'll have the hashtag right when I do it. I'm going to double check this time. I've decided the yarn I brought home from Amsterdam and other places, my more expensive fingering weight, 4-ply wool high-end yarn is what I'm going to use in this mood board make along. It's about color fade and color drift, I guess you'd call it. I think that's my interpretation of it. You take a photo of your yarn that you're going to put into the project. I've picked the yarn, but I'm not 100%. I've taken one photo and I've now found the pattern I want to do, which was a gift from Thing at Christmas, which once I decide on the yarn and the pattern, and I'll share things with you. I may put a photo at the end on the yarn and the colors I'm going to use. My color drift will probably be more subtle. It won't be lots of bright mingling colors. Sorry, background noise. But that's the current cows I am working on, and they are 2 of my whips. That start on December 19th and will finish on the 1st of March. There'll be a link to that if you want to join in, and to Gary's Urban Yarn Mood Board Mail. I'll make sure all the links are in the description below. So the things that I did a lot of prep this year to attend 3 market stalls, and I did enjoy them. And to be honest, they were very successful financially. I did great sales. I didn't, like some people just do plushy market stalls or just amigurumi. I do a bit of everything. And the name came up from a customer, my Emporium of Goodies, and I'm going to stick with that for my market stall in 2025. And the change I'm going to make to that, I'll talk about in 2025. So during 2024, I decided on joining in on the Stash Down cow, and I did every quarter. And my 4th quarter was probably my most successful in using my yarn stock. So in total, I used in the 4th quarter 5,890 grams of yarn, and I only bought in 1,212, which gave me a positive result of using my yarn of 4,678 grams of yarn. Out of that, 580 grams was scrap yarn, which is the boost. So my stash down for the year, I used 15,312 grams of yarn. I bought in 8,706 grams of yarn, which gave me a stash down of 6,606 grams, which wasn't bad. I think buying in was because I decided to do plushies. I'm hoping to better that in 2025. So let's keep an eye on my stash down. So I thought I'd share with you a couple of gifts I got. I got patterns from my Ravelry wish list, and a pattern that I'll be using in the mood board, but I'm still deciding on colors. One of the things he bought me was Mama Made Minis Knotted Lovies, this one, and I'm quite keen to make these. I'd seen them advertised a bit. I did feel the book was a little exy, but it was nice to get as a gift. I had it on my wish list along with other books, but this is the one Thing chose to get me. They did get me other things to do with yarn, but not necessarily any yarn. I didn't get any yarn. I got things that would help me. Hence my new background, these cubbies. This apparently is Reeves and Things' idea. This is my new whip wall. They both said there are whips all over the house, and that's why I worked on getting some of my whips down. So now, each cubby can fit 2 whips, they reckon. So I'm allowed a maximum of 12 whips, and I can have 1 blanket in the lounge room in my little basket that I do. 13 in total. I'm not to start whips unless I finish one of these, because one of these has been going since 2019 and I haven't finished it yet. And I don't want to frog it, I do want to finish it. So yes, But in there is my blue scarf whip and the start of my mood board mail. So I did sort of clean up. There wasn't that many. It's just that I had them scattered around. And the boys feel I should have them all in one place so I remember I've got them and work on them. So that is my new addition. This will be my background. It won't change very often. Maybe the whips. You might see a different bag in there because I have a lot more project bags, but apparently 12 is it, 13 with a charity blanket on the go. So I kind of like the idea. It gives me better organization. I don't have a craft room. That's why they tend to be, you know, one in the lounge room, two in the dining room, one in my bedroom, and they said they're just everywhere. You need to keep them together so you know what you're working on and you don't forget about them. So that is my whip wall ready for 2025. So let's move into the year 2025, which is actually the Chinese zodiac year, the year of the snake. So we might be making a few snakes for our charity store. Maybe I'll try them in plushy yarn this time. I have made them before. It's also the International Year of Quantum Science and Technology, IYQ year, nominated by the United Nations. It's to increase awareness on past and future impact of science and technology, which is something Reeves and I talk a bit about people using AI. AI is not everything it's scratched up to be. It may make life easier, but it will make it that people lose jobs, and artists and talent that comes naturally to people won't be used because people will go to AI. And there are some already AI crochet and knitted patterns out there, and I would like to think that I want to buy a pattern that rewards a person, a human person, for sitting down and designing it and thinking about it and being creative. So that's what you need to think about, the International Year of Science and Technology. So it's great to advance, but it's also can have a detrimental effect on the human race if we don't consider what we are using. Anyway, that's my little rant about that. So I've talked about my new backdrop and keeping control of my whips in 2025. In 2024, I probably did more crochet than knitting, and I really want to get back into knitting. Hence, I am knitting my blue scarf for the Made in Australia make-along, and for Gary's mood board mail, it will be a knitted pattern. I do enjoy knitting. It takes a little longer, but it is quite creative, and you do get some beautiful products just like you do with crochet. So that's where I plan to go. Now I'm going to show you an acquisition and how it came about. Oops. So I have some raw dye. I bought raw yarn that's undyed, that I bought last year from Bendigo Woolen Mills with the intention of dyeing my own advent calendar this year, and I never did because I could never find dyes that I really wanted to use, Australian dyes and things that are easy to get. So I was watching Jill from Gumleaf Crochet and Yarn. I'll put a link to her channel. And I noticed she had in a playlist about dyeing yarn, and I watched her and I really enjoyed that and found it easy. So I did get a gift from the boys to help me with dyeing, but she didn't really talk about the dye she used, but she held the pot up and I noticed it and I Googled it and I liked the idea of it and I ordered 5, but I didn't really look at where it was dispatched from. I then get a text message because it's being dispatched from the next suburb over. And she said, would you like to come and look at the range and pick it up and save on freight? And I did that. And I actually, what I saved on freight, I bought more. I actually bought 5, and I think now I've got 7. So the dyes I've got is landscape dyes for wool, and this color is citrus. And wool and silk. The lady told me that she has dyed some beautiful silk with it. But yes, lo and behold, the shock of all shocks, sorry about the plastic, it was only in the next suburb. She's a Queensland distributor that came up for this dye. And I could drive out there and just make it. She said, anytime you want it, even if you can't get here, there is a small bookshop that's privately owned in one of our shopping centres that I go to quite a bit. He's a really good friend. She said, you can order it. I'll drop it in there because she lives north of here. And she said, and you can, and I said, well, I work near there. She said, and you can pick it up from there if you want more dye. She said, I do that with a lot of local people. So there you have it. Thanks to Jill, I found a dye I want to try, and it's local up the road for me to buy it. So hopefully in 2025, you'll see the yarn I dye for myself. I may gift it to a few close friends. I'm not sure I'll sell it. Let's see how it turns out. So that was a win-win that day. So what else have I got? My market stalls in 2025. So traditionally, market stalls, any profit I make gets donated to charity, which we have done for a number of years. And as a family, we do donate quite a bit to charity, and I make things for charity. Well, in 2025, and we've been doing a lot of discussion lately about me retiring from work. It is a nice little job. I really like working for the people. It's not financially rewarding. It's not a get-rich job, but I do enjoy it. But I will be turning 68, and I feel, you know, maybe it's time I moved on. I'm a little, what would you call it, Groundhog Day with work at the moment. So I've decided that if I do retire, my market stalls will no longer, the profit be donated to charity. Some of it may be, but the idea of the market stall, money I make on that will be reinvested into the channel, my YouTube channel, and to my yarny friends. As a family, we sat down and talked about what we donate. And yes, it wouldn't hurt that if my market stall became Witchpeace Craft Emporium and didn't actually go directly to one charity when I run it. So that'll be the change. They won't be charity market stalls. They will be to enhance my brand, my channel, and to give to my yarny friends in gifts. I also plan, because get a bit of negativity about donating and quite a bit of positivity, and because we did yarn usage, I'm going to keep a spreadsheet on donations. Whether I in my old job, because we had, I guess we call them poker machines, you call them one-armed bandits in America. We had a moral obligation to donate $2,000 per machine you had on site. So like if we had 16 machines, we were morally obligated to donate $32,000, whether it be cash or in kind. So if you gave out vouchers, you put the value of the vouchers because they were in kind. So that's what I will do with my spreadsheet for donations for the year. I will work out what I donate as far as blankets, beanies. I'll come up with a dollar value, basically what the yarn costs me, not my time, because it's my hobby. Just as an interesting point of fact as to what we donate. A lot of people donate. I know I've got a lot of yarny friends out there who crochet for charity, knit for charity. You know, there's a couple in Victoria. There's one in South Australia who's always doing stuff. There's one in Florida. And I sort of think it's a great exercise for them to realize how much they actually give to charity. Even if it's not physical dollars, it's items. Because those blankets, those beanies, those baby clothes, all that stuff you make comes in really handy for people who are disadvantaged. And I just thought it'd be an interesting exercise. That's the statistician in me. So, make-alongs. am I going to have a make along in 2025? I've tossed it around. Yes, I am, but I want you to comment in the comment section below. I did them for 12 months, then I went to 6 months. Now, it's going to be twice a month, either for 3 months, run it for 3 months, or run it for 6 months, but it will be twice a month. So, the hashtag will be the sign AU. That will be my make along. But it'll be up to you guys to vote whether you want it to run for 3 months or 6 months. I won't be doing monthly prizes. I will do 3 prizes at the end of the make along, randomly picked for people who participated. Hashtag the sign AU. What's that all about? Well, when we travel, Thing and I often see funny signs that catch my eye and make me think, and I've taken photos, and I do have 12 signs. So I thought what I would do is show you the sign. Your project can be anything you want to make, and you use the sign to inspire your project and your color choices, and that's what you submit once a fortnight, whether you post it on Facebook and hashtag it the sign AU, or email it to me. I'd really like you to join in my make along. But yes, the difference is I'm not going to do monthly draws. I'm just going to do 3 prizes at the end, and it's up to you, depending on the vote on this video, whether we run it for 3 months or 6 months. Because I have another idea for a monthly make along on different things. So it all depends on what you decide you want to do. Let me know in the comments below. But I am quite excited about the sign AU, because some of the signs are quite funny. And they're from all over the world. A lot of them in Europe. They seem to be more into their signs. And so basically that's it. For 2025, I'm going to be a free spirit. Yes, I'm going to take part in Hooker versus Hooker, but I may not do every month. I like the mood board Mal because he tends to follow seasons, and that's like 4 a year, 3 a year, depending on where you are. Me, it's 1 a year because it's the same all the time. Today, overcast, not as humid. But yes, I'm going to be more of a free spirit. I want to create more and think about what I'm making more. Yes, I will do prep for my market stalls. Yes, I will do more plushies, but it's a case of I won't be a production line where I do 10 of this and 10 of that. I will do things that I sold and try some new things, just because I want to make my hobbies interesting, and I want to knit more as well as crochet. I just want to develop more into enjoying my hobby. I know a lot of people run it as a business, and if I retire, it will become a bit of a business to support the channel, but it won't be full on for me. So that's what I'm going to be doing in 2025. Nothing too exciting. Every year I make a bucket list and a plan, and I look back and I finished just about I finished 8 items on my bucket list of 10. And the 2 that I didn't are the 2 whips that I'm frogging. So, I don't know. I don't think planning is me. I like to, I'm like, I see a cow, shiny, I'm going to join that. That's what happened with Coco's Crochet. I watched a video and I've got to do that. That's really great. So, yes, I won't be making lots of plans, doing all these weird and wonderful things. It'll be a case of watch the videos and see what I'm up to with my yarn adventures. I'd like to thank all the subscribers, the olds that have followed me from the very beginning, like Janet LaPre and Barbara and Karen. And when, I only had like 10 subscribers, and now I am way past 2,000, and this year's been really well. I'm not monetized. I don't seem to get the watch hours up there, but I'm still enjoying it. So thank you to all those subscribers, the new subscribers that have joined us. I hope you enjoy the content. I hope some of you jump in. I've had 2, I think, email me that they're going to do a project for the Made in Australia cowl for 2025. So that's great. You know, I'm always excited when people find inspiration from an idea we're having. And I hope you do go and check out the other girls participating in the other content creators and podcasts, Australian girls, because it is girls at the moment who are taking part. If my scarf is a bit, make sure you check out Jill at Gumleaf Crochet. She's done a tutorial on a scrap bag for the Made in Australia make along, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. That's it. I appreciate comments, feedback, ideas, helpful hints, you know, anything that's positive. So make sure you always comment on a video, give us a thumbs up, even if you say in a roundabout you don't like something, as long as you're polite or suggest a way to change it, because there are challenging opportunities to improve, and that's the way I see the channel. It's a bit of a challenge just with working to keep going, but I do enjoy it, and if I retire it will become a main hobby focus for me. Guys, I hope you're looking forward to 2025. I hope you stay safe and well and see the new year in, because I'd like to see all of you back here leaving comments and giving us a thumbs up in 2025. And don't forget, it's the year of the snake, and we have a lot of snakes in the tropics, so maybe I'll be making a few more snakes along the way. Okay, stay well, stay safe until 2025. Bye for now.